pooper pipe to get over this nonsense noise. I'll fart over it. Fuck it.
That will conclude our news coverage. And we are wrestling with the G1 Climax Dirty. It is finally over. And we are going to cover everybody and everything. Me and Kaliko had, after the G1, like a philosophical conversation about the whole G1 and where we could go from here.
I didn't see the end of it yet, so I haven't heard about the end of it yet.
Oh, well, you're gonna hear about it now.
Good, let's hear it, bitch.
Let's start from...
wait till you hear.
Let's start with A Block, the ending of A Block. Jeff Cobb lost to Yujiro Takahashi.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yujiro finished with 1 win and 8 losses and 2 points.
I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Jeff Cobb ended with 4 wins, 5 losses.
And some more hemorrhoids, probably.
Yujiro Takahashi, probably not a first ballot entrant for next year G1. No?
Hope not.
I bet he is.
What about Jeff Cobb? It kind of seems like he's the bubble guy.
Because he's fat? No, I'm joking.
After having a cup of coffee here in the States for AEW, and then putting on a thing.
Oh, that's right. He did do AEW. That's right. That was really quick. That was like a week in and out.
It's a cup of coffee, but Jeff Cobb was one of those that you heard that was kind of picking up momentum a year or so ago.
Yeah, but after AEW, I think he just like a fart in church just lingered away.
Yeah, I think his performance on AEW soured him.
He did not do well. He didn't do well.
And I think
he was used as like an enhancement.
I think him returning to Japan was him tucking his tail and going where he thinks he can succeed. But the thing with New Japan is that
I think ROH is his best bet, but yeah.
If you ever leave in sort of a disfavorable way,
right?
It will reflect in booking.
Oh yeah. And that might be what's happening now.
Shingo Takagi finished with 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. And Minoru Suzuki ended with 3 wins, 6 losses. Kaliko, Minoru Suzuki, what do you think he is in New Japan right now?
How old is he? Real quick, hold on. Well, I'll wait 52. My turn. Sorry, I'll wait my turn.
He's 52.
Okay,
he's 50. He's north of 50.
I'll bring that up on my turn. It's Kaliko's turn.
But to me, I mean, he's the never open weight champ, so it's not like he's floating. You know what I mean? He's still a fan favorite, so it's not like he's gonna fade into obscurity. You know, like Yujiro, for instance, because he's the undisputed leader of Suzuki Gun, and as long as he's that, I feel like there's always going to be something for him. So, I mean, as long as he puts out good matches like he does, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, I don't see him as the top where Okada, Naito,
in such a physical
Jay White, but Mid Carter is good. Him in a tier with Tanahashi, Juice, the Shingo. I think that'll work.
Real quick, with the NJPW style, you have to be like not just in shape, but in really good shape. By the time he's 55, I don't think he's going to be able to be in that shape anymore.
He's approaching like
He's 52. He needs to phase out in the next few years.
He's approaching Tatsumi Fujinami territory in the early 90s.
People do that. They're stubborn and they'll do it if you let them. But sometimes you gotta you gotta see that they're trying to do more than they can chew. You know.
So he's gonna be the New Japan guy that can. Yeah, he's the legend, so to speak,
the veteran roadrunner. Yeah,
exactly. That will get the talent over and not lose face, but he's got to put.
Yeah, right. I get what you're saying.
He's got probably a year, maybe 18 months tops.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you phase him out before he's 55.
I give him.
He's 52. I'd even give him 3 years. I'd just phase him out before 55 and work fine.
I think the guy, if he
I'd give him longer than that.
If he stays,
I think that's ridiculous. With that kind of style, you're asking a senior citizen to do that at that point. Come on.
But he's doing it at a high level.
But the thing
when his bones brittle up when he's like 58, 60, it's different.
But the thing with New Japan is they do a lot of 6-man tags, so I think.
True, but how long can you mask someone like that before? Like after a while, you can't just always put them in a 3-man tag. You know,
it's Andre.
I'm just saying it's done. I don't agree with it though. But sorry, go ahead.
What about Shingo?
But that'll mask him because he only needs to really.
Sorry, what were you saying, Shooter? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was speaking. Well, I was.
I thought I interrupted him. Sorry.
Where do you see Shingo Takagi going? Because he got a win over Kota Ibushi, but lost to Okada in this tournament. And, he didn't get to 10 points yet. Does anybody see Shingo maybe getting to a higher level from here? Because he's certainly a workhorse so far.
He's a year away from being a year away.
I think Shingo Takagi is headed up from here. It's no secret that the G1 allows New Japan to kind of mix and match, and essentially, some might even say that the G1 is what New Japan plans the entire future year on.
Absolutely.
Not just with the Wrestle Kingdom main event, but with the other talent. And I think you know what, I'll go on record and say it. Shingo Takagi within 3 years competing for the New Japan World title.
I say within 5 years.
All right. Somebody that they kind of stuck a rocket to their ass, Will Ospreay, ended with 12 points and was in contention to win it all.
I thought he was going to win it all.
And on the last night, he beat Okada, who ended his G1 with 12 points. But it didn't seem like Okada got to those 12 points necessarily as easy as he has in other years. Do you want to start with Will Ospreay? New faction, which could be interesting.
I haven't heard about that, no.
What about the Great Okan being the first member?
I didn't know that.
We'll see. We'll see, because keep in mind they did the same thing with the firing squad with Bullet Club, and look where that went.
There's too many groups in New Japan.
And that's where I try to New Japan treats the groups like dojos, so it's almost like Will Ospreay is trying to do his own dojo.
It's like It's like gang warfare. Everyone picks but there's so many that it's hard to differentiate one from another, except like a few of them.
I mean,
like Naito's. I can never say the Mexican sounding one.
LIJ.
I'm not. Yeah, LIJ. There you go.
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Los
I'm not saying
Ingobernables.
I can't. Los Ingobernables. What is it? What's the rest of it?
De Japón.
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
That's easy.
See, I think this whole dojo structure in New Japan is the closest thing we'll ever have of really seeing pro wrestling as an organized season. And of course, with the G1 and
I think in the future you'll eat your words. I think there will be more organized structures to where there's actual seasons in the future. I don't know if it'll be WWE. I don't think so, but it will happen eventually.
But that's actually the point I'm actually trying to make, is that these groups, they give a sense of structure to a degree of being a legitimate major league sport.
Right, and you just, when I heard you bring it up, I just had to respond that I think that's the future, in a more structured way. Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Now, Kazuchika Okada. This is a very different Okada than we've seen in past years. Like 2 years ago.
Is that good or bad? Because he was the fucking man, dude.
No, it's bad because
I know it's bad. That's what that was the. Never mind. You didn't get what I was. That was the joke of what I was saying. But never mind.
He lost his Mania 2 years ago with the red hair and the balloons. And now it seems like he lost his identity in a much worse way. Scooter, what do you think Okada could do to maybe recover from this, if anything?
Well, it depends on whether or not you consider this sort of a failed heel turn.
Let me ask you real quick, guys. Let me ask a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what do you guys think the odds are that Okada gets frustrated with New Japan and goes to his buddies in AEW?
Absolutely not.
Think so?
No.
We'll see. I think with new management, it's more likely than it ever has been.
I would see Okada going back to Impact before.
Wow, that's a stretch. I don't think that would ever happen.
I mean,
Don Callis, then.
If he's losing his crap in New Japan, he might as well go back to Impact and the shitty role that they were putting him in.
Oh, he better not. He's the fucking Rainmaker, bro. Go back to fucking Kato.
Now, how many times do Okada and Kota Ibushi get compared? They get compared a lot, don't they?
I think I compare them constantly.
Yeah, so it's that notion of when people talking about Okada, then they really mean Kota Ibushi. So
he's the younger Ibushi's the younger version of Okada.
Yeah, and that's he's either got to take it all the way to one extreme or to the opposite end. There's no middle ground here.
That's what the Japanese do best, take things to extremes.
Speaking of Kota Ibushi, he, on the last day of black matches, he defeated Taichi in 17 minutes and 12 seconds.
Good.
And the whole match was unique because not a single punch was thrown. They kicked each other for 17 minutes. 158 kicks were thrown between the two men. Scooter.
That's stupid. Okay, I don't like that. I like the psychological stuff where, like, say you get into a kicking war and you try to act like you're getting into it, and then out of nowhere the heel turns around and grabs the dude by the balls or by rakes the eyes, or you know what I mean? Like you gotta do that for me. You gotta do that psychological shit.
Either one of you, has anybody been kicked 158 times during the match?
I don't think anybody's ever counted
Like,
the number of
I think
kicks
the
in the
most
match.
I've been kicked in a match is like 12. But that doesn't count punches.
See, and I'm wondering if while going through that match, they decided to throw the okay, I'm gonna work one body part, you're gonna work this body part out the window.
Yeah, I would have chose that over a kicking war.
Now the question is, did they plan to not throw a single punch?
I would imagine they.
I would hope so.
I would imagine. That's really an interesting statistic because that's the kind of stuff people remember.
Well,
but it kind of almost got lost in the shuffle, like because it seemed some parts of it seemed forced. Then when you do that, it can you can make it seem contrived and forced if you do it.
Now, if each guy threw 79 kicks back and forth and it happened in sequence.
Yeah, like it's just like they're just throwing him the first spite. Yeah.
Kaliko, what did you think of the match?
Huh?
Kaliko.
It's just that entertaining aspect. I that's what I saw it as, because New Japan, Japan in general do some quirky shit. So This is really in their alley to do. I mean, Kenny Omega had a 18-minute match with a doll that lasted longer than his match. So that tells me. So Japan is known for doing some awkward stuff.
Taichi ended his G1 with 8 points. Kota Ibushi ended by winning the block with a definitive 14 points. Nobody got close to him. And I'm sure we'll be talking more about Kota in the future.
I want to know about the other block if my prediction won that one, but yeah, we'll get to it.
Jay White finished the block with 12 points, 6 wins, 3 losses, and Tomohiro Ishii had 4 wins, 5 losses at 8 points.
Fuck off.
Well, Tomohiro actually cost Jay White the whole G1. He could have won.
Thank God. No offense, Kaliko, but it's just what it is. I didn't want Jay White winning that.
Well, my thought process is it was going to either be Jay White or Kota, because they always put the winner of the G1 in the final. So
I assume the way they were boosting up Kota in the beginning for a repeat, I was assuming the Kota would.
But, well, if you look at the last 3 years of the G1,
I thought Okada would beat him though, but yeah.
The winner of the G1 always made the final.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I chose with my heart with Okada.
That's why I gave Kota the biggest jump, but I was like, if they went another direction, it would have been Jay White.
And the only setback that Jay White has at this point is that he's a gaijin. And honestly, that is the biggest setback for him.
He's still kind of young.
Going back to B Block.
Real quick, whoa. That's something against him, though. He's still kind of young. He's not as seasoned as others yet.
True.
So that's something against him, I'm just saying.
True. Yoshihashi ended with 2 wins, 7 losses, 4 points. What do we think of Yoshihashi, Kaliko?
Fuck Yoshihashi.
There you go.
Oh.
Fuck Yano too.
Yano finished with 3 wins, 6
Fuck
losses,
Yano.
6 points. Everything's right with the world there.
Still 3 more wins than he should have got.
Goofy, Buddha baby looking motherfucker.
Hiroki Goto finished with 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. Juice Robinson finished with 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. Does anybody
He's got to
see?
get rid of that pedo stash. That looks creepy.
Does anybody see Juice Robinson maybe getting to 10 points next year? Because I would have said he would have got to 10 points this year, considering what he did last year. You already made your point, Mitch. Scooter, your thoughts?
Quite honestly, you know, I think he just might.
I didn't make a point. I was just saying something stupid. But yeah, okay.
Kaliko, your thoughts?
I mean, the B block was like the even block, so I just, a lot of people got a lot of shine, and it was just like the top heavy dudes did what they were supposed to do, but the one person that I had faith in last year that they disappointed in, he snuck through the back door on our ass, which, I mean, I'm kind of happy, but I felt like it was a year too late at this point.
Then we have Hiroshi Tanahashi with 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. And Zack Sabre Jr. with 5 wins, 4 losses, 10 points. Kind of seems Tanahashi is on the twilight of his career, while Zack remains relevant enough to get 10 points. So there's that. Then we have our 2 main events. Kenta had 5 wins, 4 losses, and 10 points. And Tetsuya Naito, who probably had the best G1 out of anybody, with 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points. Kenta had more of a rivalry backstage with the cameraman than he did actually in the G1 with the wrestlers. If you guys understand what I mean. I know Kaliko does.
Well, say that again.
There was the whole gimmick with Kenta this year was that there was this fat cameraman, and every time he came, he lost matches. But whenever there was the skinny
Are
cameraman,
you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, that's retarded.
Oh, it got over.
I just think that's stupid, personally.
And what are your thoughts on Tetsuya Naito, who probably had the best 9 matches of his career?
I said it was going to be Okada and Naito, or it was going to be either Ibushi and Okada, or it was going to come down to them in their bracket. So I was wrong with Ibushi, being the one to go over. But I got it right with Naito. I saw that coming.
What about you? Well, he didn't win the B block.
Oh, wait, Naito didn't win the B block?
Nope. That was
Oh,
Sonata.
I thought he did. You were saying he did.
No, I said one of our main events.
Oh, well, fuck, then I'm wrong. Okay.
What was your thoughts on that Naito's B block, Kaliko?
I mean, it was either he wins B block and picks his challenger, or this happens. So it gives him time to defend the title, to build himself up. So it made sense in that regard. Because keep in mind, Okada was the champ last year, and he eliminated half the field and still got eliminated.
That brings us to our main event. Evil finished with 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points. And our B block winner, Sonata, finishes with 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points.
Are you fucking kidding me? After all that time, and I was on him to be like the breakout star, and then he got shit on, so I thought that wasn't gonna happen. After all this, they went with Sonata. Oh my god. I'm okay with it, it's just I thought he was out of it.
I mean, I think everybody felt that at the beginning of it.
But I did predict him to be the breakout, him and Ospreay's breakout star, so I got that right at least.
What about you, Scooter? What do you think about Sonata making the finals?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad. It came out of nowhere. He must have gotten strong in the later half of it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just really
Huh?
just really surprising. I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say about that.
Yeah.
What about Kaliko? I know you have strong feelings.
Yeah, it got quite quick.
The good news is he did the ultimate backdoor sneak, nigga. If anybody did, if there was a backdoor to be snuck in, he snuck in the bitch. And I was
mad that they shit on him. I was like, they shit on Sonata. Remember?
Oh, they were shitting on Sonata.
That's why this is so shocking to me. Holy shit.
But the thing is, it was funny because me and James were like, I was texting, I was like, holy shit, he won the block.
I'm glad.
But then I realized he was just won the block to get set up for a slaughter.
Oh, is that what happened?
Like when you realize why he won the block, I was like, you bitches.
For an easy fall guy, yeah.
I was like, you
that sounds about right.
That's exactly what happened with him at the New Japan Cup last year. I was like, oh my god, Sonata, he's gonna break through. No, Okada gonna beat the shit out of him.
How was that match though, Ibushi and Sonata?
And let's
hear about that.
If you go back and you listen to the crowd during Sonata's 2 matches with Evil and Kota Ibushi, loudest fucking clapping you'll ever hear at a pro
I said Sonata's got fucking juice, dude. Yeah. Sonata's a star.
I'll put it this way. And I know James is going to get to it, but Sonata losing the G1 final was the way the crowd reacted. It was similar to when Naito lost last year in the Wrestle Kingdom main event. The crowd was just fucking like, wow, for real.
Oh, the crowd was behind Sonata.
100%.
The crowd was 1,000%.
And
maybe NJPW will hear that, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Let me elaborate about it a little bit more. Kota Ibushi defeated Sonata in 35 minutes and 12 seconds with a Kamigoye.
Oh, okay, 35-minute match. Okay.
Kota Ibushi has won 2 straight G1s in a row and has
one of the few.
And has been in the finals 3 times in a row. Nobody's ever been 3 times in consecutive years.
Yeah, no one's never been back-to-back, but there's been
Okada?
Back-to-back winners.
Okada was back-to-back.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Chono
he was back-to-back. He wasn't back-to-back.
No, he wasn't.
Right.
Chono and Tenzan were the only 2 men to go back.
Okay, whatever. I'll take your word for it. Whatever.
Honestly, the biggest story was how the crowd was so behind Sonata. Even on Twitter, Rocky Romero took a poll and he said, "Who do you think's gonna win?" 65% chose Sonata.
Good.
And you know why? And the reason why is because
is Kota a heel or a face?
He's a face.
He's a face.
Oh, wow. That's even more. Okay, that's even more.
The way the G1 has always been set up, it's usually like the defending champ makes the final, and then he loses the final. So you would have thought, prime example, when Kenny Omega won it like a couple years ago, and then he made the finals the next year, you would have just thought, oh yeah, he's gonna steamroll. But then Naito beat him, and that's where we were like, okay, it makes sense. The way New Japan books it is that the defending champ makes it to the final, so it shows a carryover that the person that beat the person is now the person, right? And that's what I thought they were going to do this year with Sonata, because it was like, holy shit, there's no way he's going to go back to back with this shit. And then, sure shit enough, he went back to back, and everybody was kind of pissed because that was the expectation. And I get it because the crowd has been accustomed to that expectation. But when it didn't happen this year, and the fact that it happened with Coda, and it feels like Coda's getting put in the same way as Okada in a sense of being thrusted into the spotlight at the expense of a fan favorite, that's where I think it's gonna
You go into Roman
have some
Reigns
friction.
territory.
That's where I think it's gonna have some friction. Because keep in mind when Naito lost the G1, that's why I said when Sonata lost this, it felt like the Wrestle Kingdom Naito lost. The crowd was not happy. It was like, what the fuck?
When Kota Ibushi was announced as a winner, dead silence. Dead silence. So, my question to you, Scooter, is, if not now, when should they pull the trigger on Sonata?
Probably within the next year.
You know, we said that last year, and here we
God,
are.
did we?
What about you, Mitch? Your thoughts? When should they pull the trigger on Sonata?
I told you I thought they should have pulled the trigger this tournament. I told you I thought he would have been the standout of the tournament and go far. I said that he would at least maybe go to the finals, or that's what I would have done if I was booking personally.
And
I wouldn't have, but I wouldn't have had him lose. If he got here, I wouldn't have had him lose. His first one, I wouldn't have had him lose.
And we know Kaliko feels that they should have pulled the trigger on Sonata last year.
Yeah, and I think they should have pulled it now.
Because last year, I felt like he was like, it felt new, and the crowd really loved it when it was new.
And the crowds, dude, they obviously spoke in this time too. You said they were way, if they were way behind him as much as it sounds like, then I don't see how you could not go with Sonata in the future.
I will make this prediction: Sonata will win the G1 the cup.
Next year,
he will win the cup next year.
New Japan Cup.
He will win the New Japan Cup.
I wish instead of every year there was like 2 kind of tournaments, like one for Christmas or something. That'd be awesome, or Thanksgiving. But with COVID, they moved the G1 got moved up from the summer, so.
And we are going straight into Power Struggle after this G1. And that is a long conversation for another show. So we shall conclude.
Hell yeah, it is.
We shall conclude our G1 coverage here for this year. 2020 G1 Climax is in the book. We have covered it all.
The climax has climaxed.
True. And we will cover everything G1 in 2021 as well when it happens.